Hi, a very good morning and welcome to a brand new day of BNS and the stock game on ET Now. I'm Megha Chadha.
Hi everyone, I'm Avan. The Bash tempered moves for the benchmark indices, and you'll have to wait and watch as to how our experts are faring on BNS and the stock game. But as always, it's mandatory to run you through the rules and regulations. So let me tell you about it. 3 experts join in from Monday up until Friday, and they have to create a portfolio with a total of 4 stocks with a notional amount of 5 lakh rupees that we give to them. 1 stock can be chosen from the F&O space, and there's a compulsory churn of 2 stocks every single day. In addition to that, if a target price has been achieved or if a stop loss has been hit, they must replace those stocks with a new one. And if there's a sell call in the cash market, as you know, they have to replace that. So invariably, every day there's a portfolio with new stocks coming in across the board. Friday, that's when we announce who's the final winner of BNS and the stock game based on who makes the maximum amount of money on their 5 lakh rupees. So let's introduce the 3 guests that we've got with us on board. There's Pankaj Jain, Director of Suntech Wealth Max, joining in on the show. We've also got with us Shrikant Shetty, Head of Equity Advisory at Unicorn Investment Solutions, as well as Uday Narayan Dubey, Vice President Research, Institutional Desk at RK Global. Gentlemen, thanks very much for joining in on the show. Shrikant Shetty will be with us in a short while. Before we take you through what happened to their portfolios today, let's get a glimpse of how they fared on Monday.
Well, Awan, it was a rather tempered day for a lot of our experts, but Shrikant really was in the lead, and what a lead it was. So let's run you through the calculators as they stood as of yesterday's day close. So we had first up Uday's portfolio. None of the stop losses or the targets yesterday were hit. Do remember that he had 3 long calls coming in and 1 short on a Canara Bank yesterday. So none of those targets or the stop losses were triggered, and by the day's close he was making just about 600 odd rupees. Pankaj, on the other hand, yesterday we had 3 buy calls coming in from his. Let's run you through Shrikant's portfolio first then. He had yesterday 3 long calls, 1 short. One of them hit a target. Syntex made him the most amount of money. A PFC got stopped out, and by the day's close he was in the lead, making close to 22,000 rupees. Pankaj, on the other hand, for day 1, he had hit the target on a Grasim where he had a buy call. Besides that, an HUL as well hit the target. A PFC, though, was a bit in the red. By the day's end, though, he was making close to 2,000 rupees. But let's take it right to our experts and then tell you what they have for us in their portfolio on day 2. Uday, I'd begin with you. Run us through your portfolio for today.
Yeah, my first pick for the day is Coal India that I have retained from last day. I retained Coal India. The basic reason behind is I believe in pyramiding my profit rather than averaging it out. That's why I retained the Coal India. Even the 6 core numbers that came last day were good and quite encouraging for the Coal India. It came around 6.8% versus 0.1% in November. Versus 3.7% on year basis. Most importantly, coal segment growth was quite good and quite handsome. After contracting in last 3 months, they grown by 4.9%, which is quite good sign. And in today morning, we heard company management told that the production is coming on a regular basis, and power companies are likely to meet the target or maybe getting the coal once again back. So I think the production is coming on normal phase. And
Uday, we'll discuss the stock picks in greater detail. If you could just run us through what the stocks are with the target and the stop loss first.
Yeah, I bought Coal India for the day that I retained with a new target price of 311. My second call was IGL. I bought it around 300 with a target of 392. My third call is to sell NMDC with a target of 152, and my fourth call is to buy Central Bank for a target of 76.
Okay, let's take it then to Pankaj Jain and find out what he's got in his portfolio for day 2. 3 sell calls and 1 buy, Pankaj.
Right, good morning, Avan. I think I've gone a bit contrarian way kind of thing, though everybody is expecting that market till about Thursday, till about expiry of December will tend to guide it upwards. I think, but I had 3 considerations in mind. Apart from market having taken a serious short covering bout yesterday, I think today special parliament session is on, and Annaji's fast is on, and still some of the major international markets are closed post Christmas today. So it has been my observation in last 5-7 years that generally whenever parliament session is on, our markets tend to struggle. That has just been observation. So taking these things into considerations along with some some kind of unscheduled government security auction being announced by government. That was the basis of my four calls. Three of them are shorts. I've gone short on Bank Nifty, I've gone short on Union Bank, I've gone short on Exide. Only script where I've gone long is TCS.
Okay, so 3 shorts and 1 long call coming in for Pankaj's portfolio for today. And we've also got now Shrikant joining in on the show. Shrikant, morning, good to have you with us. Run us through your portfolio. I can see all buy calls coming in.
Yeah, largely all buy calls given the kind of move we've seen in the markets. 4 buy calls here, one in Aditya Birla Nuvo for a target of about 800. Century Textiles a buy for a target of about 250, and Tata Chemicals for buy with a stop loss of 308 for a target of about 335, and Arvind Mills for a target of about 78.
Alright, that's Shrikant Shetty's portfolio for the day. 4 buy calls coming in largely in the mid-cap arena. Time then to see how our experts are faring in the stock game and who is leading as of now. So pull up the individual calculator plates, that'll give us a better idea. Starting off with Uday Narayan Dubey and his splendid gains coming in across his portfolio for the day. Coal India is making him the maximum amount of money. That would be 2,000 rupees, 0.5% gain so far. On to Shrikant Shetty then, and let's see how his portfolio is doing. Century Textiles and Arvind, that's a bit of a rough spot, but from day one, his gains have built up, so it's a 4.2% gain all in all, coming in with close to 21,000 rupees. And finally on to Pankaj Jain. He's got 2 stocks working in his favor, Union Bank and Exide. That sums up to close to 3,800 rupees, 0.7% gain. And notable that none of the target prices or stop losses of any of our experts have been hit as of now. But let's take it then to individual picks in each of their portfolios. We'll start off then with a Coal India, Uday, on which you've got a buy call on. Yesterday, of course, there was the news as to how the company is now chalking out an action plan in order to meet its revised production target. What else are you picking up with respect to the fundamentals of the company?
I think this stock is doing well. I think company is once again backing on a track of production, and its production goes smooth, then company is likely to meet the target. Already company has indicated that they are likely to shortfall the targeted production of 452 MTK versus 450. I think that production cut has already been priced in the stock. Even the growth number, the 6 core growth number has come quite good and quite encouraging. The number from coal segment growth was quite good. It came around 4.9% was after contracting in last 3 months, which is quite good and encouraging thing. We have a positive view on this stock. That's why I retain, and most importantly, I believe in pyramiding my profit versus the losses. That's why I retain the Coal India as my pick, and that's why I increased the target price around 311 also.
Okay, that's the word on a Coal India. A little softer in the session right now, but rather just about trading very flat. So target of 308 is what you can expect. 306 is where it's trading at right now. On to Shrikant's first pick for the day then. Another Aditya Birla Nuvo, that's a call on the long side, target of 800. Shrikant, we had news coming in recently about how the company has put in a bid for a coal mine in Australia. As well as that, fundamentally, along with that, a lot of fundamental analysts are quite positive on the company. They're talking about long-term targets of about 1,200 plus. But technically, how are you viewing the charts for an AB Nuvo?
So if you look at the recent stock price performance, where there's been a significant correction, and there's been some consolidation around the 750 kind of levels. So we are anticipating a pullback move in the stock. On the fundamental side, as I said rightly, we think the outlook is fairly good for the company. The valuations are reasonably attractive at these levels, with the business of be it financials, retail, telecom, carbon black, where is the leading player now. So all these look make the stock quite interesting. For the time being, however, we are playing for a pullback move till about 800, 820 kind of levels, with a stop loss of 740.
Alright, 800 is the upside target with a stop loss at 740. The counter higher by 0.6%, currently trading at 768. Pull up then the Bank Nifty futures, because you do have Pankaj who's got a sell call on that. Pankaj, we were speaking to Ashwini about this just a couple of days ago, and he believed that 8,615 is the level on the Sensex after which you can conclude that the worst is over and you will see a sustainable rally. Is that a view that you would also side with?
I think PSU Bank are still struggling, and they are still searching for the bottom, and bottom may be somewhere around, I would say, second week of January, post recent RBI meet, when RBI said that we are almost done with rate hikes, and they've indicated that we are in for pause. Now the question is, when would RBI start cutting the interest rates, whether it be in January meet or sometime later on. After taking that into consideration, I think we had seen some kind of rally in government bonds. 10-year yields had come down from levels closer to 8.50 to levels closer to 8.35. But yesterday what happened, government announced unscheduled 15,000 crore of buying auction is to take place on Friday. So what happened, I think yield started hardening yesterday itself, and today we are seeing 10-year yield at about 8.54 or 8.55. So that means September quarter 2 ending, the yields closed at about 8.45, and end of quarter 3 yields closed at about 8.55, 8.56. Then banks will have to make a provision. Most of the PSUs banks which hold this long securities will have to make provisions in quarter 3 also. So there will be a dent in bottom line of these PSUs banks. So that was the idea, that was the rationale. So I thought that Bank Nifty could take a 100-point knock today, and I've given a target of 8291. I think I've achieved the target. So that was the rationale. So I think maybe some kind of pullback till about Thursday, but again first 10 days of January could again be struggling days for PSU banks especially.
Okay, so that's the word on the Bank Nifty. 8291 is the target that Pankaj is expecting. Right now just about 1% and just about 1% higher, 93 points in the red. 83.85 is where we are trading for the Bank Nifty. On to the second pick then for each of our experts. Uday, you've got an Indraprastha Gas Limited. You've initiated a long position on that counter. 392 is the sort of level that you're expecting in the near term. And the one factor that I believe is providing a bit of fillip to these gas counters today, specifically the CNG based companies, is the fact that CNG rates may be hiked by up to 2 rupees a litre in the next few days, as the rupee devaluation has push the input costs higher. So the fact that we might just be seeing a rise come in as far as those end product prices are concerned is providing some cheer to these counters today.
Yeah, I completely agree. City gas distribution companies have done well over the last 3 to 4 years. They have outperformed the Sensex companies, Sensex by 26 to 28%. Profitability is also good. And now what is happening? They are getting domestic gas, LNG gas at 4.2 MBTU, and they have to import the LNG at $10 to $18 per MBTU, which is quite vary, and it's vary because of a fall in domestic production at D6. So production has already fallen in Reliance from Reliance KG-D6 is already impacting these companies. If we compare the both companies, two leading players, Gujarat Gas and Indraprastha Gas, I think Indraprastha Gas is in much better place than the Gujarat Gas, because they import around 15 to 20% of their requirement versus the 30 to 35% kind of requirement from Gujarat Gas. So over the longer period, I think Indraprastha Gas will able to maintain its margin versus more than the Gujarat Gas. That's why I think Indraprastha Gas will do much better than Gujarat Gas, and that's why we have a buy rating on a stock for a longer term period also. For a long term, we expect price target of 420, but for short term, I think 392 is quite achievable, and there's a buzz going on for a price hike of 2 rupees, which is quite good, and I think that need to be, because currency has already depreciated around 15 to 20%. The last price highs we have seen in LNG was 2 rupees in the month of October. From there we have saw another devaluation in our currency. So price hike is on a card, and it is expected to be by this weekend. So that's the rationale, I think.
Okay, that's a word which is coming in on an IGL. The fundamental factors certainly auguring well for it, and the fact that there could be a rise in the CNG prices by 2 rupees is also going to do well. The counter is higher by close to 1.2% at 382. Then you've got a Shrikant Shetty who is bullish on a Century Textiles. Shrikant, run us to the rationale for the same.
So again, as I said, it's more of a value picking which we have done around these levels, where stocks have substantially corrected, and there's value and there's potential for some pullback move. That's what the broad strategy has been, and that's where the Century Textile also fitted in. There's been an early kind of small move from the lows already happening, and we think the move can sustain up to higher levels of at least 250, 260 kind of levels. So that's where I'm trading for a pullback out here with a stop loss of about 229 for this time.
Okay, so that's the word on a Century Textile, a target of 250 odd. Stop loss, do maintain that at about 229.5. Pankaj, another one that's making an appearance from the banking side. First it was the Bank Nifty, and now it's a Union Bank that you've decided to short sell. 167 is what you're expecting for this counter. And even fundamentally, you know, a lot of analysts, if you just go through the recommendations, 25% of the coverage universe talks about how they have a sell rating on the counter. But even on the short side, the targets that they're talking about is about 189 to 190, which is still quite a bit above the current market price for the name.
The Union Bank, we've already seen sell-off from levels closer to 220, 225 to levels closer to 170 now. I've already given the rationale why I'm a little bearish on PSU banking stocks for say next 2 weeks kind of thing. Apart from that, what we had seen yesterday, I think technically Union Bank, in spite of the kind of pullback we had seen yesterday, Union Bank closed in negative territory. So taking that into consideration and taking into consideration that I expected PSU banking stocks to be a little weaker, so I consider Union Bank to be weakish kind of stocks among the major PSUs banks, and we expect Union Bank say to be trading somewhere closer to maybe below 160 levels in next couple of weeks. So that was the rationale behind Union Bank. So we've gone short on Union Bank along with Bank Nifty.
Okay, 168.5 is where it's currently trading at, but Pankaj Jain saying that you can't rule out a level of below 160 in the next few trading sessions, one of the weakest links in the PSU banking lot according to him. Take a quick break then on Buy Now, Sell Now, and after the break, of course, we also welcome you to participate in the show and send in all the individual queries that you may have. This is how you do it. bnsn@etnow.tv is where you can send us an email. You can also SMS us at 58888 or call us live on 022-248-37111.
And you also have a chance to get your portfolio rechecked by experts. So every Monday, Wednesday and Friday is when we take up portfolio queries. So write in to us with all your queries at bnsn@etnow.tv and we'll have the experts advise you on the same. Back with BNS in the stock game on ET Now, and as you know, we're playing the game this week with Uday, as well as we've got Shrikant and Pankaj joining in. So time now to get you their third and fourth picks for day 2. Uday, you've got a central bank where you're initiating a long, you know, on the charts, if we just have a look, the 14-day RSI is suggesting that the counter is in the oversold zone. And if you look at the charts from the month of November alone, the bank has lost about 33% of market capitalization. Do you think that you can probably initiate a long for a fundamental reason as well at current levels?
No, that's why I have initiated a long call. I think the long call is just for a swing basis trading, and the last day stock has closed with a hammer kind of a pattern, and stock has already corrected usually around 22% in this month even. So I think it's a pullback rally can be played out. That's why we have initiated a long call on this stock. It's a technically picked. The stock has closed with the hammer pattern, volume is improving, and most importantly the pace of fall that I think is slowing out. So we can play out for a pullback. That's why I have initiated a long. Apart from it, I don't think there's any reason to cheer up for, because asset quality is still a bit a concern for the PSU bank, and it is going to be. We are at the peak of the rate cycle tightening and all, but we don't know when it is going to be ease out. It's a here and there matter, but we don't know exactly when it is going to be. So that's why it's technical call and it's a more swing call. That's why I have restricted a strict stop loss of 71.5 for this counter.
Your technical factors driving a buy call for a central bank according to Uday. Shrikant, come to you on an Arvind on which you've got a buy call on. Come the month of September, it sort of fell off the cliff after that steady rise below its 50 as well as its 200 daily moving average. How much more downside?
No, I think the downside seems to be through, at least for the time being. Again, if you look at a more broader perspective, consumer related or branded retail play is something which will play out over the longer term, and that's where I think Arvind fits in fine. So from a longer term perspective, we do have a positive view on Arvind, and I think the correction is a good opportunity for investors to accumulate the stock from a medium to longer term perspective. For the time being, however, we are trading for a pullback of the stock as 66 to 70 levels. There's been nice consolidation around these levels. I think a pullback rally till about 78, 80 does look possible out here.
Okay, so 78 is the near-term target and the short-term target on an Arvind. Currently, the stock around 72.5 mark, about 0.6% lower in the session. A TCS as well is a bit soft right now, about 0.4% lower, and we had news coming in overnight that the company, some time ago, there was news that it is one of the front runners to bag Lufthansa's IT arm, and then now we've got news coming in overnight that the company has backed away from that deal and it's not pursuing that acquisition anymore on concerns of profitability. So at TCS, Pankaj, what would you do with this one right now? You've got, of course, a long position on an intraday basis, but from the medium-term perspective?
I think I expected a sort of follow-up rally from levels closer to yesterday. TCS had rallied along with Infosys had rallied more than 2.5% yesterday, and with the kind of bullish stance of management, I think they seem to be pretty optimistic about Q3 results, and not to forget the kind of gains TCS could have from potential gains from strengthening of dollar. So taking that into consideration, along with there are not many places, many sectors where one can defensively, proactively park the money. I think IT, Infosys and TCS being the front runner along with FMCG, I think these are the two defensive bets where one can easily go into 2012 taking these bets. So we have a sort of bullish stance on TCS along with Infosys, though I think of the two it's a matter of choice which one would perform better. So that was the rationale behind going positive on TCS, and plus it was also a case of balancing the portfolio. I already had 3 short calls, so I wanted to take a long call.
Okay, fairly truncated day for a TCS. If you look at the stock price, it did manage to defend the green line, but now has come back down and lower by close to 0.5%, 1,182. Pankaj Jain, though, bullish on the counter. Time now to discuss the third pick in each of our experts' portfolio. We'll take it to an NMDC on which Uday has a sell call. Uday, from the months of April to just December, the stock has vacillated between levels of 136 to 304. How much more downside pressure are you anticipating given that it's at 158 now?
Yeah, sentiment has dampened in his stock. Even last few days there's a buzz going with IT department, and even CAG is looking for some illegal export to South Korean and maybe Japanese company. Although the sales contribution to the Japan and South Korean market from NMDC is quite lower, but 9 to 10% is as per our initial working it is. I think the stock is in, technically it's quite weak, and even the stock has faced an inverted hammer in last day rally when it tested around 164-65 kind of level and once again retraced to 158. That's why it's a technical as well as supported by some kind of a expected news flows. The stock is looking weak and likely to trade in a weak hands. That's why we have initiated a short call. I think overall the stock is likely to settle around 130, 135 in coming days. On a rise, they are on a sale. They are technically looking weak, and on a rise it's better to exit the positions. Although we have a hold rating on a stock for a price target of 205, but we are reviewing our target once again on these kind of news flows.
Okay, so an NMDC looking weak on a technical basis as well, but on to a Tata Chemicals, which Srikanth, you've gone long on for the day. Do outline the rationale behind this pick.
Again, as I said, the overall strategy has been to try to pick value stocks which have recently corrected reasonably, and there is a potential of a reasonable chance of a pullback move in some of these stocks, given that we are overall seeing a pullback rally in the markets. So that's why Tata Chemicals also has been picked, primarily being in the agri space, where I think from an overall medium to longer term perspective we would have a bullish stance there, given the kind of growth we are seeing in the rural and the potential growth in the agri space as well. From a trading perspective, we see a potential target of about 330, 335 kind of levels, and we're having a stop loss of 308 levels for the stock from a trading perspective.
Okay, that's the word which is coming in on a Tata Chemicals counter. Very muted though in today's session. What's under quite a bit of pressure though is in Exide Industries, and Pankaj, you've got a sell call on this counter. It's been an underperformer pretty much all throughout, and are you expecting further underperformance?
I think so. I think we are almost trading at 2-digit price for Exide, and this is my final call. Exide post Q2 results, I think we've seen a strong sell-off post Q2 results. I think levels closer to 140 then to levels closer to 105 now. And what had happened in Q2 results, what we've seen apart from muted performance, there was a negative growth in this battery replacement market, and this market is supposed to command higher margins. So we've seen negative growth in this market, and along with that higher lead prices along with high inventory, I think that is hurting the bottom line of the company, and automobile as such is passing through a sluggish phase. So this underperformance to continue with Exide for some more time, and we could be trading in 2-digit levels soon. So that and what we have seen in bouts of pullback in last 3-4 days, Exide has not been performing. So that was the rationale why we went short on Exide also.
Okay, so short on Exide, expecting further weakness as well. Pankaj is talking about how the mark may not be too far off at Industries. With that, we've come to an end of BNS and the Star Game. So gentlemen, thanks very much for joining me with your picks for day 2, and of course we look forward to having you back with us tomorrow morning at 11 AM with your fresh picks for Wednesday.